In the military, obedience is oxygen. You breathe orders. You live by regulations. And you die by them too. Every manual, every checklist, every shouted command exists for one reason: control chaos. But war is chaos. And sometimes, the only way to do the right thing is to do the wrong thing. Today's story is about men who broke the rules when the rules broke first. Men who saved lives, won battles, and embarrassed the system that trained them. One of these men was denied the Medal of Honor because he fought back. Another almost faced a court-martial for rescuing his own commander. And another received America's highest award, while being punished like a criminal. This is the thin, cruel line between a hero and a criminal. August 18, 1944. Occupied France. The sky is loud. P-51 Mustangs slice through it like scalpels. And then one of them goes down. Major Burt Marshall's aircraft takes a hit. Smoke, fire, no control. He bails out. Below him, a wheat field. Enemy territory. Above him, his wingman. Lieutenant Royce Priest watches his commander drift toward the ground under a silk parachute. Priest drops down, circles, and does the unthinkable. Marshall radios him. "Don't try it. Leave me." That wasn't a suggestion. That was a direct order in combat. And disobeying a direct order in combat is a career-ending offense. Sometimes worse. Priest ignores it. Because orders don't pull bullets out of men. He looks at the field. Tall wheat, uneven ground. Absolutely not a runway. And the P-51 has a belly scoop underneath, an air intake that should dig into the dirt and flip the aircraft end over end. Every flight manual says, "Don't land here." Every instructor says, "You will die." Priest lands anyway. The wheels bounce. The scoop misses by inches. The aircraft screeches to a halt. Marshall is already running. No time, no plan. The P-51 cockpit is 38 inches wide. 38. Two grown men. Flight gear. Parachutes. Pistols. Marshall climbs in first. Priest wedges himself behind him, then realizes there's no space. So Priest sits on Marshall's lap, knees jammed forward, blocking the flight instruments, blocking the stick. Marshall's circulation starts cutting off almost immediately. They can't see the gauges. They can't see the horizon. Priest is flying blind. Marshall is starting to lose feeling in his legs. Enemy troops could arrive any second. The engine roars. The aircraft lurches forward. The wheat slams into the wings. The scoop scrapes earth. For a moment, it feels like the plane is going to rip itself apart. Then they're airborne. Barely. Two men. One seat. One mistake from death. They make it back. And then the paperwork starts. Because here's the problem. Royce Priest disobeyed a direct order in combat. From a superior officer. On a battlefield. That's a textbook court-martial offense. The case lands on the desk of General Jimmy Doolittle. And Doolittle understands something terrifying. If he gives Priest the Medal of Honor, he's telling every young pilot that rules are optional if you feel brave enough. So Doolittle splits the difference. He awards Priest the Distinguished Service Cross instead. Not because the act wasn't worthy, but because it was too dangerous to encourage. Priest saved his commander's life, and the system quietly decided, "Don't ever do that again. If you think saving a life matters more than following a rule. Hit the like button, because the next story proves the system learned nothing. December 7, 1941. Hawaii. Lieutenants George Welch and Ken Taylor are not on base. They're wearing tuxedos because they've been up all night at a poker game. They're exhausted, hungover, and half asleep when the explosions start. The sky over Pearl Harbor fills with aircraft, but not American ones. Japanese planes dive out of the clouds. Bombs hit ships. Torpedoes rip through steel. The harbor becomes fire and screaming metal. Welch and Taylor race to their car. A Buick. They floor it. 100 miles per hour down Hawaiian roads. No helmets, no briefing, no orders. At the base, chaos rules. Senior officers are issuing commands to disperse and ground aircraft, afraid of sabotage, afraid of friendly fire, afraid of making the wrong decision. Welch and Taylor don't wait. They drive to Haliwa Airfield, away from the main base. No permission, no authorization. They scramble into their P-40s. And there's another problem. The planes aren't fully armed. Only .30 caliber machine guns are loaded. The heavier .50 caliber guns, the real killers, aren't. They take off anyway. 2 American fighters against 300 Japanese aircraft. They climb straight into hell. Welch dives first. Short bursts. Close range. He has to get dangerously close because .30 caliber rounds don't hit as hard. He downs 4 enemy aircraft. Ken Taylor is right behind him. His aircraft takes damage. Still, he stays in the fight. He also shoots down 4 Japanese planes. Between them, they account for a quarter of all Japanese aircraft lost that morning. 2 pilots. No orders. Improvised defense. They land. Refuel. Take off again. Because nobody told them to stop. America needs heroes that day. And for a moment, it looks like Welch and Taylor will be rewarded accordingly. General Hap Arnold himself recommends both men for the Medal of Honor. Then the recommendation dies. Quietly, a senior officer blocks it. Why? Because they took off without orders. The logic is cold and bureaucratic. If you reward unauthorized action, you invite chaos. Welch and Taylor received the Distinguished Service Cross instead. They saved lives. They fought when others froze. And the message from the system was clear. Next time, wait for permission. Now let's talk about a man nobody liked. Staff Sergeant Maynard Harrison Smith. Nickname Snuffy. 31 years old. From Michigan. A hillbilly, according to his peers. Lazy. Scheming. Always trying to get out of work. The worst airman in the 423rd Bombardment Squadron. Nobody wanted him on their crew. May 1, 1943. A B-17 bomber over Europe. 4 engines. 10 men. And German flak tears into the aircraft. The B-17 catches fire. Ammunition boxes ignite. The interior fills with smoke and burning aviation fuel. Crewmen are wounded. Some are bleeding out. Snuffy Smith doesn't run. He wraps his hands in sweaters because the metal is too hot to touch and starts grabbing exploding ammo boxes. He throws them out the waist window one by one. They detonate Medea. Fire spreads. The extinguishers run dry. So Smith urinates on the flames. It's crude. It's desperate. And it works. He moves wounded men, administers first aid, keeps fighting the fire for over an hour. The aircraft stays airborne. The crew survives. Snuffy Smith, the man everyone thought was useless, saves them all. The story reaches Washington. Secretary of War Henry Stimson personally travels to present the Medal of Honor. But when the ceremony begins, Smith is missing. They find him in the kitchen, on KP duty, scraping leftovers from plates. Because while Smith was a hero in the air, on the ground he was still being punished for being a slob. That's the irony. America's highest military honor, presented to a man who was literally on kitchen police. And it doesn't end there. After receiving the Medal of Honor, Smith is later demoted to private, the only man in American history to win the Medal of Honor, and then be busted down in rank. Heroism didn't erase his disciplinary record. The system doesn't forgive. The military needs rules. Without them, armies collapse. But it also needs men willing to break those rules when the situation demands it. Royce Priest ignored an order and saved his commander. George Welch and Ken Taylor ignored authority and defended Pearl Harbor. Maynard Smith ignored expectations and saved an entire crew. Each man embarrassed the system, and the system responded the only way it knows how: by punishing them quietly. Because the difference between a court-martial and a Medal of Honor is often just luck. These men proved something uncomfortable: that sometimes the manual is wrong, and sometimes the greatest heroes are the ones who didn't ask permission. This is WWII Records, and these are the stories they don't teach you in training manuals.